What's up, Cowboys Nation? You already know, the Dallas Cowboys are always looking for ways to improve and build a true championship contender. The offseason is rolling along and contract talks are heating up. And right now, Micah Parsons' future in Dallas is becoming a major talking point. Could the Cowboys actually trade away their defensive superstar? We're breaking it all down today. But first, do me a favor. Smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any Cowboys updates. Let's dive in. Cowboys fans, we all know one thing. Micah Parsons is a generational talent. Since stepping into the NFL, he has been one of the most dominant defensive players in the game, but now he's entering the final year of his rookie contract, and Dallas has a decision to make. They already picked up his fifth-year option, but that doesn't change the fact that he wants to be paid like the best pass rusher in the league, because, let's be real, he probably is. According to reports, Parsons is eyeing a contract worth over $200 million, which would make him the highest-paid defensive player in NFL history. But here's where things get tricky. Let's break it down. Dallas already gave Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb record-breaking contracts. The team has less than $40 million in cap space for 2026. Other key players are hitting free agency soon, and Dallas has to be smart. That's why some insiders believe the Cowboys might actually consider trading Parsons instead of giving him that historic extension. Tyler Brook from the 33rd team put it this way: Parsons is on pace to be the league's highest-paid pass rusher. But after already paying Dak and CeeDee, are the Cowboys willing to reset the market for a third superstar player? It's a tough spot to be in. The more Dallas spends on a few players, the harder it is to build a complete team, and if extension talks hit a wall, could the Cowboys really consider trading Parsons to free up cap space and collect a haul of draft picks? Now, before anyone panics, let's be clear. There is no official report saying Dallas wants to trade Parsons. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. If they did explore a trade, what could they get in return? Potential trade package for Micah Parsons: 2 first-round picks, plus additional draft capital. A high-level defensive player in return, massive cap relief for future contracts. Teams would line up to trade for a player like Parsons. He's a defensive game changer, a guy who wrecks offensive game plans and can take over a game at any moment. But here's the catch. Would trading away their best defensive player make sense for a team that's supposed to be competing for a Super Bowl? That's the big question Cowboys fans need to ask. Remember Jerry Jones's infamous all-in comment? Well, if the Cowboys are serious about making a championship run in 2025, there's no way they trade Parsons. Why? Parsons is a game changer. You don't just replace that level of talent. The defense is built around him, and removing him would create a massive hole. Jerry Jones doesn't trade away superstars in their prime. The reality is Dallas is more likely to pay Parsons than trade him. But until an extension is signed, the speculation isn't going anywhere. Now, speaking of rumors, could the Cowboys really go after Tyreek Hill? All right, let's switch gears for a second. The NFL draft is coming up, and one of the biggest questions for Dallas is, who's playing WR2 next to CeeDee Lamb? With Brandon Cooks gone, the Cowboys haven't found a true number 2 receiver to replace him. And while many expect Dallas to draft a receiver, some analysts are pushing for an even bigger move: a trade for Miami Dolphins superstar Tyreek Hill. Ian Valentino from the 33rd team believes Dallas should go all in and trade for Hill, sending Miami the number 44 pick in this year's draft. A third-round pick in 2026. Hill is still one of the most feared weapons in the league, and adding him to this offense would be electrifying. But is it realistic? While adding Hill sounds amazing in theory, there are some major roadblocks. His contract is massive, $28 million per year. He's 31 years old and nearing the later stages of his career. Both he and Lamb do most of their damage from the slot. His off-the-field history brings extra baggage. The Cowboys already signed Paris Campbell in free agency, and while that's not exactly an elite replacement for Cooks, it suggests Dallas is taking a more cautious approach. The reality is, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys don't make splash trades like this. If they didn't go all in for DeAndre Hopkins or Davante Adams in the past, why would they suddenly do it now for an aging Tyreek Hill? So, what's the better option? Most likely, Dallas. uses the draft to find another weapon for Dak Prescott. Last season, let's be honest, the Cowboys' ground game wasn't great. Sure, Rico Dowdle surprised everyone with a 1,000-yard season, but outside of that, the rushing offense was mediocre at best. The Cowboys were often one-dimensional, putting too much pressure on Dak Prescott and the passing game. That's a problem Brian Schottenheimer, now the full-time head coach and play caller, is determined to fix. His plan? Run the ball. A lot. We already saw this philosophy shape the roster. Rico Dowdle is gone after hitting free agency. Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams are in, adding veteran depth. And more moves are likely coming in the NFL draft. While Sanders and Williams bring experience, they aren't long-term answers. That's why many believe the Cowboys will draft a young running back to develop. And one name stands out, Quinshon Judkins. Could Quinshon Judkins be the next great Cowboys RB? Cowboys fans, let's talk about Quinshon Judkins, a hard-nosed, powerful runner out of Ohio State. The NFL draft experts believe Judkins has a real shot at being a steal on day 2 or day 3 of the draft, and if Dallas plays their cards right, he could be the perfect addition to this new-look backfield. But here's where things get interesting. According to Brandon Laurie of Blogging the Boys, Judkins has been compared to former Cowboys running back Marion Barber. If you've been a Cowboys fan for a while, you know exactly what that means. Barber was an absolute bulldozer, known for breaking tackles, running with aggression, and punishing defenders every time he touched the ball. Does that sound familiar? Because Judkins has a very similar skill set. Tough physical runner who fights. For extra yards, great vision and balance in tight spaces, can handle a heavy workload and wear down defenses. Has the power to push through tacklers and keep the chains moving. Now let's not get ahead of ourselves. Judkins still has to prove himself at the next level. But if the Cowboys are serious about getting back to a run-heavy attack, a player like Judkins could be exactly what they need. How would Judkins fit in Dallas? If the Cowboys draft Judkins, what kind of role would he play right away? Well, here's what the RB depth chart would likely look like. Javonte Williams, likely the early down back, but injury concerns remain. Miles Sanders, solid. Veteran option, but struggled in Carolina. Quinshon Judkins, the young, powerful runner who could take over. At first, Judkins would likely be a rotational piece working in short yardage situations and getting a handful of carries per game. But don't be surprised if, by mid-season, he's earning more and more touches, especially if he proves to be as explosive and reliable as many scouts believe he can be. And let's be real, if Judkins starts running like Marion Barber 2.0, he could be the Cowboys' lead back by the end of the season. What about other draft needs? Of course, before Dallas selects a running back, they have other priorities. Offensive line, protecting Dak and improving the run game starts here. Defensive tackle, the Cowboys need help stopping the run. Cornerback, depth is needed with injuries and contract uncertainties, but if the Cowboys feel good about their early round picks, grabbing a powerful, hard-running back like Judkins in the later rounds could be a steal. The NFL is moving away from investing big money in running backs, so finding value in the draft is key, and Judkins could be that. Cowboys Nation, things are getting interesting. The Parsons contract situation is something to watch closely, and while a trade seems unlikely, nothing is ever off the table in the NFL. Meanwhile, the need for a WR2 is real, but a blockbuster Tyreek Hill trade just doesn't seem like the move Dallas will make. Now, I want to hear from you. Should the Cowboys give Parsons the $200 million deal or consider trading him? Would you trade for Tyreek Hill, or should Dallas draft a receiver instead? What's the best move to improve this roster for a championship run? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get the debate going. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more exclusive Cowboys news. The offseason is heating up and we'll be covering it all. Go Cowboys! So, what's the better option? Most likely, Dallas uses the draft to find another weapon for Dak Prescott.